And also with John Vogel, the swim team coach.
Fishing. Well, we have a lot of answers today because with us today is Fred Sheldon, who happens to be the vice president of the Woodlands Bass Club. And we're here at Lake Harrison, and Fred has promised me he's going to tell me everything that there is to know about bass fishing, plus the Bass Club. Fred, welcome to Hometown Happenings.
Glad to be here.
Great. Tell us a little bit about your club, first of all.
Well, our club was formed approximately 3 years ago. We started out with 3 or 4 charter members, and since then we built the club up to approximately 35 active members.
You recently had some sort of a bass fishing contest, and I understand that you've got a couple of ringers now, that the club has gotten bigger and you're really getting great fishermen, right?
That's correct. Each year our club sponsors what we call the Little Fisherman's Tournament out here on Lake Harrison each August, just before school starts. And last year we had over 150 little kids come out here and fish in the tournament.
That really is. Now, I think that most people here would probably want to know a little bit about if they were, if they could join, who would they have to contact? I know you're the vice president. I know that Cliff is the president of the club. But who would they have to contact, and how could they join the Bass Club?
Well, normally I am the one who receives the phone calls,
okay.
And so all they have to do is contact me. We usually have something in the newspapers every month, a picture, and so they can contact me, give me a call, and then all they have to do is come to a meeting as my guest, and we will let them see what it's all about. And if they want to join, they can join.
That's great. Now, I would imagine that during the course of the year you have not only contests for the little anglers, as you talked about, the 150, but also you have contests on a monthly basis as far as the club is concerned?
That's correct. Each month we have a one-day tournament on a local lake within a 200-mile radius, and we compete and we give awards at the end of each tournament to the winners.
And I understand that there's something very unique about your bass club, or maybe bass clubs in general, and that is that a lot of times you don't even keep the fish, you let them go. Is that not correct?
That's correct. We have a rule in our bass club that any fish that we catch, we release so that they'll grow up to be bigger fish, and then we can enjoy catching them again someday.
Well, that's great. Okay, give us your number so that if people want to get in contact with you, let's have that number so that they can get in touch.
Okay, they can contact me at work at 363-6556 or at home at 469-2532.
Okay. Now, let's get into it as far as fishing is concerned. Tell us some of the better area lakes as far as bass fishing in this particular area.
Well, just about any lake within a 200-mile radius is a good bass lake. Some lakes are a lot clearer than other lakes, so you can catch fish better. And one of the lakes that we like has just recently opened. It's Lake Gibbons. And it's a new lake, and there's trophy bass. Nobody's fished this lake for years. And so that's a very popular lake at this time.
Yeah, I bet you that would be a ball. Okay, now then, we are going to have a little cast-off a little bit later on with you and Cliff and also Peggy Stout. And I have promised her that you would teach her everything there is to know about fishing. Tell me, what are some of the secrets as far as fishing?
Well, of course, I'm not necessarily an expert. There are thousands and thousands of bass fishermen, and each one has their own ideas of what makes a good bass fisherman. But some of the secrets is in the casting, and more importantly, in being able to locate the bass, because the bass are not everywhere in the lake. They're concentrated in certain areas. So you must be able to locate the bass, and then you must pick the right lure to cast at the bass, and then you'll catch a bass.
Okay. Well, let's see now if Peggy can catch a bass right here at Lake Harrison. We'll be right back.
Fred Sheldon is going to teach me how to cast. Fred, you've got your work cut out for you.
No problem, Peggy.
I don't know, but you're going to have to teach me about this rod and reel because I know nothing.
Well, let's first start out with the rod. This is a standard 5.5-foot graphite rod. It's very lightweight and very sensitive. Then the reel is a good reel to begin with. The reason why is because it's a closed-faced reel.
I see.
And it's virtually impossible to get a backlash.
Oh, good. I need all the help I can get.
That's very important in this kind of fishing. It's very safe for beginners.
Okay.
Okay?
Now, yeah, I know. I was going to ask you, what's on the end here?
This is an artificial plastic worm. It looks very slimy, but if you feel, it's not.
Well, it's not too bad, but now does this mean you don't use live bait?
We never use live bait, strictly artificial bait in bass fishing.
Hey, that's great. No messing with the live shrimp and stuff.
That's correct.
I think I'd rather touch this.
That's correct.
And you've got a little weight here.
Got a little weight. This is called the Texas rig. You ready to try?
Well, you think I can do it? I'll try.
I think you're capable.
Okay, what's the first step?
We'll crank it up, put it in your right hand. You simply press the black button that releases the brake.
Oh, look out.
You raise the rod back over behind your head. Make sure nobody's behind you. You throw and release. And there it goes. Beautiful cast. Okay, you start cranking it in. Now for worm fishing, you let the worm settle to the bottom of the lake. You raise the tip up and then let it fall back down. You basically want to walk that worm back to you. So you raise the tip up and you let it down. And so you're actually walking that worm across the bottom. Now if there's a fish out there, he's going to see that worm and he's going to grab it.
Come on, fish.
Now as soon as you feel a hit, you jerk back and you set the hook as hard as you can. Very good.
Whoa.
Let's try that again.
I got some moss.
Excellent. Well, that's okay. Let's try to throw it over there by those green bushes and see how you do, okay?
Okay, I'm going to leave that moss on there. I'm not touching that stuff.
Well, maybe that'll help.
Okay,
you press the button, hold it, you raise it back, you throw it, and release. Excellent.
Woo, look at that.
All right.
Oops, I got to bring it in.
Okay, now you let it settle down. And you raise the tip up now. Remember what I showed you? Raise it up, then let the worm settle back to the bottom. You raise it up and you let it settle down.
I'm walking the worm.
You're walking the worm back to us along the bottom of the lake.
Wasn't that something people used to do with yo-yos?
That's correct.
Or walk the dog?
Now, if you feel a bass hit that, you've got to set that hook.
Okay.
Now, that's a closed face reel. It's very simple. As you notice, that's the first time you've ever cast that, and you did excellent.
Okay. Now, I know that there are other kinds of rods and reels.
That's right. Now, Cliff Rowe, the president of the Bass Club, is here to teach you how to cast with a more difficult reel.
Uh-oh.
So, Cliff, if you'll come on in here.
Okay. Thanks, Fred. Hi, Cliff.
How are you doing?
You think I can do this?
Well, you did pretty good on the first round.
All right, now this is an open face reel. Tell me how this is different.
Well, it's a little heavier duty mechanically, and it's a little more sensitive as far as feeling what the bass is doing with the end of your lure. On the other hand, it does take a little more practice to use. So we'll see if we can get you
more practice. Oh,
that's
gosh.
Right. Okay, now it works the same. You still have a thumb button in the back here.
Okay.
And when you push that and you hold your thumb down on it.
I'm right on the
right on the line.
On the line.
And it's the same as the other one. Now it's a little harder to cast further, so just don't expect any big results.
Oh, okay.
Just
all right.
Go ahead and try it. Put your thumb on there.
Oh, this is different.
That's right.
Keep my thumb right on the line.
Now depress that little trigger there. That's it. You got it. Now haul back and let her rip.
Oh, that spider is awful. Oh, that didn't go very far.
Well, I'll show you how to do that. Bring it back in.
Okay. Now I did something wrong.
No, not really. It's just a matter of getting with it there. That's
Did
it.
I release?
Push it down. Okay. Bringing it back a little further, and then release a little sooner and a little harder. There you go.
Better?
That's getting better. After about 25 tries like this, I think you'll have it.
I should have been happy with the closed reel. That went further, and I felt better.
Okay.
Now, what's on the end of this line?
Well,
is that a spinner or something?
This is called a spinnerbait.
Okay.
Let me bring it down here where we can see it. Now, a spinnerbait is it looks like a little spider of sorts, and it's got a spinning spinner on the end of it. And it's protected in that it has a guard that keeps the weeds from grabbing a hold of the hook when it goes through the water.
I see.
So it's real good to use around timber and that sort of stuff.
Great. Well, how do you think I did?
I think you did pretty good.
Well, I want to thank Fred and yourself for giving me some fine tips about casting, and I think I'm going to go out and try it.
Well, good luck. That's really the secret, is getting out there and keep trying.
Okay. Thank you so much. We'll be right back.
Spirit is literally lighting up the night sky to